is Remy and I share lots of vegan content and tips to help you live well. Today I'm going to be sharing how to make 2 vegan Japanese dishes, and these are recipes from my grandma's kitchen and things that she would usually make but veganized. I had so many requests to share some Japanese food and cook with my grandma, and she didn't exactly want to be on camera.
Don't put my face on the
camera? Okay. But she's going to be guiding us through the recipes today. So today we're going to be making a Lotus Root, like a pan-fried sauteed version, and then we're also going to be making onigiri in 3 different flavors, and all of the recipes will be in the description box below. This video is also going to be in collaboration with one of my really close friends, Lisa. She's also part Japanese, which is how we bonded and, I don't know, really connected. She's just like one of the best people I know. Love her so much. Anyway, her video is going to be amazing, and she's also going to be sharing 2 recipes, so definitely head to her channel after you watch this video. I will leave the link to that video in my description box as well. And then we're going to be following up with a dessert. So stay tuned for that one, but for now, let's get cooking. This is Bobby. Bobby doesn't really want to be on camera. I call her Bobby because, actually I don't. I call her Babang, but Babang is supposed to be... Why did we start calling you that, actually? Kind of weird.
Well, it's in Japanese. Obachan is a grandma. She says, Obachan is too long. Implement calling it Obachan. Then it's still too long, so Shimbi suggested I call Baba.
And then I started calling her Bobby like a couple years ago, and it just stuck, and now she's Bobby, so that's Bobby. But first, let's do some shopping. We're gonna bring you to one of our favorite grocery stores. This is a specifically Japanese grocery store, so they have specialty items. It's called Mitsuwa, and it's honestly a little Japanese heaven. They have things like fresh wasabi root, lots of mushrooms of all different kinds, miso paste galore, and this is one of my favorite ingredients. It's a Japanese spice blend called shichimi. It's so good. We also have mochi, some snacks, lots of prepared foods like this seaweed salad, which we're going to be using in a recipe later.
No hanky-panky ingredients.
And Lotus Root, which we're also going to be using. There's a fresh variety and this kind of pre-prepared kind. They also have this freezer variety that's frozen and already cooked if you'd like to use that instead. So keep that in mind for our recipe later. In the kitchen section, I actually found this fun little gadget, which is specifically made to help you make perfect onigiri. You don't need to use this at all, but I thought it would be fun to show you guys because they have a lot of great items for making lunch boxes and prepared foods. They're really into that in Japan. So I picked one up anyway just to test it out, but you don't need to use one. Then I'm also picking up some furikake, which is like rice seasoning mixes that they use a lot in onigiri. Most of the time there is fish flakes in it or bonito, so just be careful and read the ingredients. They have some vegan ones for sure. What does it say?
Potato. Sesame seed, sugar, cornstarch, potato.
So now that we have everything we need, let's get home and get cooking. We're going to start off with onigiri, which are Japanese rice balls, and of course to make these you need to have some rice. So we're going to prepare some rice in a rice cooker. I think that it produces the best results, and you should also be using white sushi rice, but if you don't have a rice cooker you can also prepare this over the stove. We have a little bit of an extra rice cooker. It even speaks to you in Japanese when you use it, but it gets the job done and it makes perfect rice. So once you have your rice cooked, just pull it out, set it aside to cool for a little bit, and assemble your workstation so that we can get rolling. You want to make sure you have a bowl of water on hand so that your hands don't get sticky while you're rolling the balls, and just have your toppings ready to go to make it easier for yourself. We're just going to use the hand forming method here, and basically you just want to squeeze together and make a really compact triangle shape with your rice ball. It's a little bit finicky and can be sticky, so just add water to your hands as needed. For this first rice ball, I'm going to season it with the furikake rice seasoning. You can either mix this into the rice before you roll the balls, or you can sprinkle it on top like I am. I find it to be a little bit salty, so I like to sprinkle it on top instead so that there isn't quite as much salt going into my rice ball. Once your rice ball is ready, the last step is to wrap it up in a little piece of seaweed, and just makes it look nice and kind of gives you something to hold on to that isn't quite so sticky. For for this next rice ball flavor, I decided I would try out this little contraption that I picked up at the grocery store. Now, similar to our hands, we want to make sure that it's also wet so the rice doesn't stick. And I just put in half of the rice that I'm going to be using, plus a little bit of pickled plum or umeboshi into the filling. And then I'm adding the second half of the rice over top so that it's perfectly covered all around. Basically, all you have to do is wet the top and then press it down, and it makes it so much easier than having to press out a perfect triangle shape by hand. And the result is, well, let's just say it's no match for my handmade one, but my handmade one has a little bit of character, you know what I mean? Oh my god, there's no comparison. This is just embarrassing. We're gonna make one more, which will be with the seaweed salad inside, and I'm just gonna use the mold because it's just so much better. Like,
especially seaweed salad, it's very difficult to use hand.
So back to our little device, we're gonna do the same process we did for the pickled plum, filling it with half rice, then adding the seaweed in, more rice on top, and then squeezing it down with the top of our little gadget. And we should end up with a perfect rice triangle, and then we're gonna just wrap this baby up with little seaweed, and that's it. Okay, so here we have it. How do you grade my onigiri, Bobby?
60%.
That's a fail. All right, well, that's that. We're gonna make our stir-fried lotus root next, and we're actually using the prepared kind that I showed you earlier at the supermarket, and we're just slicing it very, very thinly.
And saute for just a few minutes. Actually, this one is already once cooked.
So the stir frying got a little bit intense and loud here, so I have to take over, but she just added a little bit of water to the pan, and then she's adding some brown sugar here for sweetness and just to balance out the saltiness from the soy sauce that we're using to season our lotus root. And at this point, you can add some chili powder. The shichimi that I showed you earlier in the video would be amazing, and that's what we actually added here. And basically from there on out, you just want to stir fry and kind of toss it around the pan until all of the liquid is absorbed. And that's really it. It's quite simple. Wait for a little bit of caramelization and some golden brown color, and you're good to go. Last but certainly not least, we're going to be making some dessert, and we're going to make zenzai, which is a sweet red bean soup with mochi. To prepare these beans, it kind of takes a little while, so we're going to do this the day before so that they're ready to go for the video. And we're using azuki beans, red beans.
Mexican black beans, very similar.
Yeah, so if you can't find that, you have options. Well, you just kind of prepare them like you're cooking beans pretty much. So let's wash them.
So the zenzai need some soup. So maybe 3 times of this azuki. So it's all the way up to here.
Cool. So we're gonna boil these beans and then we'll check back in when they're done.
Right. It has to be low cooking, otherwise the skin is break and it looks sloppy. If you are eating at home, it's not, nobody cares. But if you are serving somebody, you should be. So it's about 3 times of the beans. Then evaporate also, so you have to check time to time. Put this one.
It's been about an hour. Let's take a peek and see how the beans are doing. I'm actually really embarrassingly bad at using chopsticks. Alright, so here's a bean. And I'm just gonna try it and see if it's done. It's like al dente, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave them for a little bit longer. Okay, it's been like 2 hours now or so, and we're gonna take a peek and see if it's done. I think it should be good because we've been cooking it for a really long time.
Yep, ready.
I can't believe how much it expanded. It's like the whole pot of beans basically. There's like no water left in here.
So preserve those beans.
For making zenza, we're gonna keep the liquid because that's basically like the soup. So hold on to the liquid. So we added water and we're turning the heat back on. And then we're gonna add sugar. It's quite a lot of sugar, traditionally, right? I mean, I'm sure you can just adjust it if you don't like sugar as much, but
don't taste it.
yeah.
A lot.
That's the nice thing about making it at home is you can add as much or little sugar as you want.
Try half a cup or 3/4 cup. No, 2/3 cup of sugar, brown sugar, and see how it tastes.
And we probably have about 2 to 3 cups of beans in there right now, so yeah.
Salt enhance the sweetness. To me, it's quite sweet. But what do you think?
Let's see. I feel like I'm pretty low with my sweetness too, so it should be good. We're gonna cook it a little bit more now so it thickens up again.
Right.
And then we'll see you tomorrow. So to prepare the mochi, we're gonna use this pre-made mochi, which you can microwave. The other alternative is you can make your own at home or make yours using like a mix of powder. And then we just went ahead and chopped this into little cubes so that they're bite-sized. They also have a frozen one that are like circular that you could use as well, but we're just gonna use cubes. And you make this and prepare it by microwaving. So that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, you have so much time. Lenkong, always lenkong is part of it for New Year dish because there is a hole. So people says if you eat this one, you could see your future better.
Oh, you heard it here first?
Yeah.
I think the shape is probably the coolest part. They're really beautiful. It's crunchy, like. What if it falls apart, like you said? So this is like I would say they're like a snack, right? It's like kind of like snack, kids food, convenience food. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
And sometimes also you could eat cold. But then mostly it's warm.
I think if you like bubble tea, I think you'll like this because it's like that chewy texture, the mochi flavor. Love it. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun cooking with my grandma and just veganizing things that I used to eat as a kid. I will be leaving the recipes in the description box below, and as mentioned, Lisa will definitely have a really bomb video on her channel. I think she made some ramen and gyoza, which I like, Japanese vegan dumplings. Well, they're not vegan usually, but they will be vegan. So definitely head to her channel to check it out. I will link everything down below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when the dessert video is going to come out next. I'll see you in another video soon, and thank you guys so much for watching. Look at this.